silver had a big few days in the last few days. It's down in the overnight, so I get to shop and the tools. For those of you who are new, I typically do chickens on up days and tools on down days. Now, it's very interesting about the current price of silver, which was over 20 yesterday, right? For these technical chart people, right, the price isn't the most important thing, right? How something arrived at a price is more important to them than the price. Let me explain. When I first started my channel, silver was stuck in the teens. It was a range, right? It had trouble staying over 18. But once it broke, like around 20 or so, I don't remember the exact number. All the traders were saying this is a breakout. The thing's going to the moon, right? Well, right now we had the same thing. Yesterday, silver broke 20. But I'm not hearing the same thing from these chart people. Why is that? It's because it's how something got there, right? Like, according to these chart people, right, in 2010, it was in a range that was getting explosive, and when it came to the upside, they said according to the charts it would keep going way, way up there, right? So we had a break over 20, but because of what happened in the last 2 years, they're not considering this the same kind of breakout as in like 2010. And I remember one of my friends, Trader G, said that when silver broke 21, that was now the floor. He was doing some technical analysis, and he was saying, well, based upon my interpretation of this analysis, it will never go below 21. Whereas Airline Trading was saying the whole time, yeah, it's over 21. It's going to go in the 40s, but it's going to come back down to the teens and lower, right? So there are different people having different takes on the technical analysis. And I hope Trader G is still watching. I think he's a cool guy. But his call about 21 as being a floor, well, we saw what happened recently. So a lot of these calls, you got to be wary of people who are making promises and calls, because if it was that easy, I mean, it'd be so easy to get rich. I mean, Airline Trading has been right about many things, but if there was a guarantee that it was going to the lowest point that he thought so, right? I mean, all of us could just bet everything we had, right, on these price movements to just be incredibly rich. So, I mean, it's more about probability, right? These charts are about probability, right? It's not about destiny, they're about probability. So for Airline Trading, like, so the other day, this channel called Co-Tangled Down did a video how saying Shafe Studios is an enforcer of YouTube, right? We have this like kind of like YouTube community, and there's different there are different personality types. One of them is the enforcer, like, you know, Corey C's enforcer, you know, Raw Dog. These guys are enforcers, right? They're trying to stamp out, you know, what they think are misinformation and lies and whatever. We also have some financial, quote, enforcers, or the watchdogs, like Airline Trading and Cosmos Gatos. These guys are like either market enforcers or market and watchdogs, because what they believe is that there is a lot of misinformation and untruths out there, and they're trying to say, hey, these are misinformation and untruths, right? And it's ironic because the people they are being labeled the shills and trolls and bashers, when in fact they believe that they're trying to teach the truth. So it's an interesting dynamic. And I've kind of been an opinion leader, right? Because, you know, some people do listen to me apparently, right? So I'm like, there are different opinion leaders, right? So it's like a battle. It's a battle of marketing and ideas, or a battle of propaganda. Okay. So speaking of charts, right, is if you really want to know how technical analysis works, you can learn it in 2 weeks. I'm serious. If you really want to know how this technical analysis works, you can learn it in 2 weeks. But obviously, you're going to have to commit yourself. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to do, I don't know, sample problems. You're going to have to maybe talk to someone who knows how to do it and get mentored from them, right? Because in reality, right, you'll see some of these popular channels do technical analysis, and the technical analysis is just so bad. It's shocking. I'm not exaggerating, right? So the people I know who've been technical analysis for many, many years, when a channel would first come up and say, we're doing technical, I'm going to show you some charts, right? I would say, hey, you know, You've been doing, hey, YouTube friend who's been doing technical analysis for over a decade. What do you think about this person's technical analysis? And their answer is, wow. That person is either has no idea about how technical analysis works, or they're just making stuff up because it will get them more views. I'm not exaggerating, right? So I started doing technical analysis myself, and I see the same thing myself. Wow, this person, these people, they're just making stuff up. It's laughable how completely bad it is, and they know that it won't cost them viewers because their viewers will not learn technical analysis, right? They know their audience will not learn technical analysis, right? I mean, it'll take about 2 weeks, and there's some complexity to it. It involves, esoteric, abstract concepts. It involves, mathematical thinking and whatnot. So there's learning technical analysis, and then there's, I guess, being good at it. And being good at it takes time, but if you know the basics and you know that someone's just throwing terms out there, not knowing what they're talking about, then you can catch that. So yeah, one thing about this YouTube community, as long as you don't name names, right? It seems you can stay out of these flame wars, right? If I said so and so, their technical analysis is so bad it's laughable. By saying their name, all of a sudden I get attacked myself. But usually, if you don't say names, right, then they don't go after you, right? Or you could say, oh, I wasn't referring to you because I didn't name your name, right? But that's how the enforcers work. They name names, right? There's that STT08 thing, right? In the comments it said it's 11 people who collaborated on that video. What's going on there? When silver was in the 40s, there were some serious people who bought silver because they briefly believed a lot of the misinformation and lies about silver. And those people lost money and they are angry, right? I know we can argue that that channel went too far, right? That perhaps they went too far in what they're doing, but they don't care. Right? The people who lost money, they don't care. They have they have vengeance on their mind, right? Now, I know sometime in the future, right? It's all going to come back, right? I don't know what date that is, but sometime in the future, it's all going to come back. And one thing too about the ones who made all these promises, right? They're not going to talk about those promises, right? But sometime in the future, if silver goes up to a level they promise, all of a sudden they say, see, look what I promised, look what I promised. Because revisionist history, because the people who watch them, they know, have a 6-month memory. Because if they had longer than a 6-month memory, they wouldn't watch them because they say, wait a second, I heard the last couple years, I heard these ridiculous promises and none of it's happened. How come I can't buy my house for a couple silver coins? What's going on here? Okay, wow, I'm going off on a tangent. But there are good people out there who have silver channels, but they get much less views, right? So, I got on this enforcer topic, right? Enforcers. That's why I kind of went almost like enforcer mode here. But what I'm saying is that if it was so simple that you just look at a chart, we'd all be rich, right? If it was that simple, right? It's more complicated than that. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you earned something.